quickly,
Steven
without
Spielberg
thinking,
is one of the
who are
most
your top
important
favorite
filmmakers in
actors of all
American
time? And I
cinema.
don't want you to think. Just name
For
off
50
some
years,
names.
he has created
In the
movies that
pantheon of
combine
American
amazing
film.
technical skills with emotional storytelling. He has changed what popular movies can do and achieve. The man who made Jaws, E.T., and Schindler's List is more than just a director. He represents a way of making films that treats each project as a special partnership between technology and human emotion. Spielberg is famous for being professional and diplomatic with everyone he works with. However, this reputation has sometimes hidden serious conflicts he has had with certain actors. These conflicts happened when actors' approaches to their work or personal behavior went against his strong beliefs. About artistic responsibility and working together respectfully, what makes Spielberg's rare professional fights particularly important is how they show the differences between commercial entertainment and serious art in Hollywood. His incredible success has been built on his ability to get real performances from actors while keeping the technical precision needed for big movie productions. But this delicate balance requires actors who share his commitment to both emotional truth and professional excellence. The conflict with Sean Young. The professional conflict between Steven Spielberg and Sean Young represents one of Hollywood's most carefully hidden stories. Their problems came from basic disagreements about professional behavior and creative boundaries that nearly destroyed what should have been a career-defining partnership. When Young was first considered for major roles in several Spielberg movies during the 1980s, her initial screen test showed undeniable talent that impressed the director and his casting team. However, their working relationship quickly got worse when Young's unpredictable behavior and apparent disregard for professional rules began interfering with Spielberg's carefully managed production schedules. The director's legendary attention to detail and diplomatic management style proved incompatible with Young's more chaotic approach to both character development and behavior on set. Casting director Mike Fenton recalled that Sean had incredible natural ability, but she seemed unable to channel that talent through the collaborative framework that Steven requires from all his performers. Their few working sessions revealed an actress whose personal struggles increasingly overshadowed her obvious screen presence and dramatic potential. The breaking point came when Young allegedly violated confidentiality agreements by discussing private production details with entertainment media. This led Spielberg to question her trustworthiness and professional judgment. Her subsequent behavior during industry events only reinforced his assessment that she lacked the emotional stability necessary for major film productions. The disappointment with Shia LaBeouf's creative relationship between Steven Spielberg and Shia LaBeouf began as a promising mentorship but gradually transformed into one of Hollywood's most disappointing professional disappointments. Their collaboration on the Indiana Jones franchise revealed fundamental incompatibilities between traditional filmmaking values and contemporary method acting extremes. When Spielberg first cast LaBeouf in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he anticipated that the young actor's intensity and commitment would inject fresh energy into the beloved adventure series. Instead, their partnership quickly revealed an actor whose preparation methods and behavior on set increasingly conflicted with Spielberg's preference for disciplined professionalism and collaborative respect, LaBeouf's tendency to remain in character between takes, and his confrontational approach. Two creative discussions created tension that affected the entire production atmosphere. Producer Frank Marshall observed that she had brought this method actor intensity that Steven initially appreciated, but it gradually became clear that his approach was more about personal expression than serving the story's larger purposes. Their creative meetings became exercises in diplomatic management as Spielberg attempted to channel LaBeouf's energy constructively. The relationship deteriorated when LaBeouf began publicly criticizing the film during promotional interviews, violating Spielberg's fundamental belief that actors should support their collaborators even when personal artistic satisfaction remains incomplete. His later comments about the franchise and Spielberg's directorial choices crossed professional boundaries that the director found unforgivable. The tension with Julia Roberts, the professional tension between Steven Spielberg and Julia Roberts during their collaboration on Hook, represents one of cinema's most carefully managed conflicts. Their opposing approaches to character development and behavior on set created an atmosphere of barely concealed frustration that tested everyone's diplomatic skills. When Roberts was cast as Tinker Bell in Spielberg's ambitious Peter Pan adaptation, both artist and director initially expressed enthusiasm about bringing the beloved fairy tale to contemporary audiences. However, their partnership quickly revealed fundamental disagreements about how fantasy characters should be portrayed and how actors should conduct themselves. During expensive productions, Roberts' tendency to request extensive script revisions and her unpredictable approach to emotional availability created logistical challenges that conflicted with Spielberg's need for precise scheduling and technical coordination. Screenwriter James V. Hart, who witnessed several heated creative discussions between star and director, recalled that Julia wanted to explore psychological depth in a character that Steven envisioned as pure magical energy. Their meetings became increasingly tense as both creative forces struggled to find common ground. Between character complexity and narrative functionality, the conflict escalated when Roberts' personal life began affecting her professional availability, leading to production delays that cost the studio millions while testing. Spielberg's legendary patience with difficult performers, her occasional absences from set required extensive schedule rearrangements that affected every department's carefully planned workflow. What made their antagonism particularly frustrating for Spielberg was how Roberts' undeniable charisma and screen presence should have perfectly served the film's magical themes. But her inability to maintain consistent professional behavior prevented their collaboration from achieving its obvious potential. Despite significant financial and creative investment, the bitter conflict between Steven Spielberg and Ryan O'Neal represents one of Hollywood's most personally destructive professional relationships. Their creative disagreements extended far beyond artistic differences, into territory that permanently damaged both their working relationship and mutual respect. When O'Neal was considered for several Spielberg projects during the 1970s and 1980s, his established star power and dramatic abilities initially made him an attractive collaborative partner. However, their few professional interactions quickly revealed incompatible personalities and approaches to filmmaking that made productive partnership impossible. O'Neal's old-school Hollywood star behavior clashed dramatically with Spielberg's more democratic and collaborative directorial style, creating immediate tension during creative meetings and screen tests. Production designer Norman Reynolds observed that Ryan operated like a traditional movie star who expected special treatment, while Steven treated everyone from leads to extras with the same professional respect and expected similar behavior in return. Their personality clash became evident during early development discussions where O'Neal's demands for script changes and special accommodations conflicted with Spielberg's egalitarian production philosophy. The situation deteriorated when O'Neal allegedly made inappropriate comments about other cast members during industry events, demonstrating a lack of professionalism that violated Spielberg's fundamental beliefs about collaborative respect and project loyalty. His reputation for difficult behavior on other productions only reinforced the director's decision. To avoid future collaboration, the antipathy with Mickey Rourke. Professional antipathy between Steven Spielberg and Mickey Rourke stems from fundamental disagreements about acting methodology and professional responsibility that have prevented any meaningful collaboration despite their obvious mutual talent and industry prominence. When Rourke first emerged as a serious dramatic force in the 1980s, Spielberg initially expressed interest in the actor's intense screen presence and commitment to character authenticity. However, their potential partnership quickly foundered when Rourke's method acting extremes and unpredictable personal behavior proved incompatible with Spielberg's need for reliable professionalism and collaborative stability. The director's legendary ability to work with challenging performers met its match in an actor whose approach to character development often extended beyond professional boundaries into personal dysfunction. Casting director Janet Hersonen recalled that Mickey's commitment to character truth was genuine, but Steven needs actors who can access that authenticity without losing sight of the larger production's requirements and collaborative responsibilities. Their few meetings revealed creative minds operating from completely different premises about professional conduct and artistic responsibility. The conflict deepened when Rourke's reputation for unpredictability on set and his tendency to prioritize character exploration over production schedules became industry folklore that reached Spielberg's attention through trusted collaborators. His later career choices and personal struggles only reinforced the director's assessment that the actor lacked the emotional stability necessary for major studio productions. What made their lack of collaboration particularly disappointing for cinema enthusiasts was how Rourke's raw, dramatic power should have flourished under Spielberg's nurturing directorial approach, but his inability to maintain professional boundaries prevented any meaningful partnership despite their obvious creative compatibility and mutual respect for serious filmmaking. The missed opportunity with Marlon Brando, the complex relationship between Steven Spielberg and Marlon Brando represents perhaps Hollywood's most philosophically profound missed opportunity. Their few professional interactions revealed fundamental incompatibilities between traditional movie star behavior and contemporary collaborative filmmaking partnership. Despite mutual artistic respect, when Spielberg first achieved prominence in the 1970s, Brando represented the pinnacle of serious dramatic acting, making potential collaborations seem like an inevitable meeting of cinematic minds. However, their actual encounters quickly revealed that Brando's legendary unpredictability and disdain for commercial filmmaking directly contradicted Spielberg's need for reliable professionalism and collaborative commitment to project success. The aging actor's tendency to treat film roles as psychological experiments rather than collaborative responsibilities created immediate tension with the director's more structured approach to storytelling. Producer Kathleen Kennedy, who witnessed several aborted attempts to bring the two together, observed that Marlon operated according to his own creative logic that didn't acknowledge production realities. Steven respected his genius but couldn't accommodate the chaos that seemed to follow him to every project. The breaking point came when Brando's demands for script control and his insistence on improvising major dramatic scenes conflicted with Spielberg's carefully planned technical requirements and narrative structure. Their creative meetings became exercises in diplomatic impossibility as both artists struggled to find common ground between genius and professionalism. What made their lack of collaboration particularly tragic for film history was how Brando's revolutionary approach to character development should have perfectly complemented Spielberg's technical mastery. But their incompatible working methods prevented any meaningful artistic partnership despite obvious mutual admiration and respect for each other's contributions to cinema understanding. Spielberg's standards, Steven Spielberg's rare professional conflicts reveal his unwavering commitment to collaborative respect and technical excellence. These antagonisms demonstrate how even diplomatic genius cannot bridge fundamental gaps between professionalism and artistic chaos. They show that successful filmmaking requires not just talent, but also the ability to work respectfully with others and maintain professional standards throughout the creative process. These conflicts illuminate the delicate balance required in major film productions, where creative vision must be matched with professional discipline. Spielberg's experiences with these actors highlight the importance of shared values and mutual respect in creating successful collaborations that serve both artistic vision and commercial success.